Most people wake up and immediately start reacting to life. They check their phones, see bad news, compare themselves to others, and unknowingly start their day with doubt, fear, and negativity. But what if I told you that in just 21 days, you could rewire your mind for success, confidence, and purpose just by changing how you talk to yourself? Our minds are like fertile soil. Whatever we plant grows. If you plant doubt, you harvest insecurity. If you plant confidence, you harvest strength. The problem is, most people are planting the wrong seeds every single day. Think about this. Your mind believes whatever you tell it the most. If you constantly say, I'm not good enough, I'll never succeed, or I'm too tired, your brain accepts that as reality. It doesn't question it, doesn't argue, it simply obeys. But what happens when you flip the script? What happens when for 21 days you wake up and say, at first it may feel uncomfortable, maybe even a little fake, but here's the truth. Repetition creates belief. Every time you affirm your potential, you reinforce a new identity. Look at the most successful people in the world. They didn't just wake up believing in themselves. They trained their minds. They repeated their vision. They spoke to themselves like winners before they ever won. For the next 21 days, make this a non-negotiable habit. Every morning, every night, talk to yourself like the person you want to become, because eventually you won't just be saying the words. The way you speak to yourself determines your mindset, and your mindset determines your actions. Every single day you have an ongoing conversation in your head, one that is either propelling you forward or holding you back. This internal dialogue is more powerful than you might realize. It shapes your self-image, influences your decisions, and ultimately dictates the course of your life. Think about it. How often do you catch yourself saying, I'm not good enough, I always mess up, or I'll never be successful? These aren't just words, they're instructions. Your subconscious mind listens to them, absorbs them, and turns them into beliefs. And once something becomes a belief, it starts to feel like the truth. But here's the good news. The same principle applies in the opposite direction. When you start speaking to yourself with confidence, purpose, and determination, your mind begins to shift. You start seeing opportunities instead of obstacles, growth instead of failure, and possibilities instead of limitations. Your self-talk is like a mirror reflecting what you think about yourself. If you constantly feed yourself words of doubt and negativity, your mind will reflect back an image of someone who is incapable, unworthy, or destined to fail. But if you start speaking to yourself with the same kindness, encouragement, and belief that you would offer a close friend, your mind will adjust accordingly. Consider elite athletes. Before stepping onto the field, court, or track, they don't tell themselves, I'm going to fail or I'm not good enough. No, they reinforce their abilities through self-talk. They remind themselves of their training, their skill, and their determination. They visualize success. And because their minds are primed for victory, their bodies follow suit. Now imagine if you applied that same principle to your life. If instead of saying, I can't do this, you said, I am capable. Instead of, I always mess things up, you said, I learn from every experience. These words create a foundation for confidence, resilience, and progress. Your brain doesn't know the difference between what is real and what is repeated. If you hear something enough, whether from others or from yourself, it becomes ingrained in your subconscious. This is why negative self-talk is so dangerous. It traps you in a cycle where you feel powerless to change. But the opposite is also true. When you intentionally fill your mind with words of self-empowerment, you create new neural pathways, ones that support growth, ambition, and success. You start to believe in yourself, not because the world tells you to, but because you have told yourself so consistently that it becomes your truth. This is why people who practice positive affirmations see real changes in their confidence and success. They aren't just saying empty words. They are reshaping their reality from the inside out. It's not just about feeling better, it's about doing better. When you shift your self-talk, your behavior follows. Someone who tells themselves, I am disciplined and focused, is more likely to act with discipline and focus. Someone who constantly reinforces, I attract opportunities, is more likely to recognize and seize them. On the other hand, someone who repeatedly says, "I'm just unlucky," or "things never work out for me," will unknowingly sabotage themselves. They won't take the risks that could lead to success because deep down, they've already convinced themselves that it won't work out. Your words create your actions and your actions create your results. If you want to change your life, start by changing how you speak to yourself. Become aware, start paying attention to the way you speak to yourself. If you catch yourself in negative self-talk, stop and reframe it. Be intentional. Choose words that empower you. Instead of saying, "I'm bad at this," say, "I'm improving every day." Instead of "I'll never succeed," say, "I am learning the skills that will make me successful." Repeat daily. The more you reinforce positive self-talk, the more natural it becomes. Speak encouraging words to yourself every morning, every night, and especially in moments of doubt. Act as if it's already true. Even if you don't fully believe it yet, act as if you do. Confidence is built through repetition and action. If your life isn't where you want it to be, take a look at the way you talk to yourself. The most successful people in the world don't have some magic formula. They have control over their minds. They have trained their inner voice to push them forward instead of holding them back. Starting today, make a commitment to yourself. No more self-doubt, no more negative words, no more reinforcing limitations. Instead, speak to yourself as if you are already the person you want to become. Because when you do that long enough, you won't just be saying the words. Speaking the right words to yourself for 21 days can reprogram your subconscious mind, forming new empowering beliefs. Your brain is not a fixed entity. It is constantly changing, adapting, and rewiring itself based on the thoughts you feed it. Every time you repeat a thought, a belief, or a phrase, you reinforce neural pathways that make it easier to think that same thought again. This is why habits, both mental and physical, are so powerful. The more you engage in a thought pattern, the more natural it becomes. If you constantly tell yourself, "I'm not good enough," your brain strengthens that belief, making it feel like an undeniable truth. But if you start telling yourself, "I am capable, I am worthy, and I am growing every day," your brain begins to accept these statements as reality. The beauty of this process is that it works whether you are aware of it or not. Your subconscious mind does not argue with you. It simply absorbs whatever you repeatedly tell it. If you consciously choose to repeat empowering statements for 21 days, you begin to reshape your thought patterns, replacing doubt with confidence and fear with courage. Imagine going to the gym for the first time. If you lift a weight once, nothing happens. If you do it inconsistently, your muscles won't change. But if you lift that weight every day for 3 weeks, your muscles start to adapt. You become stronger. The same principle applies to your brain. Every time you repeat a thought, you strengthen the neural pathways associated with it. Over time, these pathways become the default, making positive self-talk effortless. Scientists call this process neuroplasticity, the ability of the brain to rewire itself based on experience and repetition. This is why some people seem naturally confident, disciplined, or successful. It's not luck, it's conditioning. They have trained their minds through repetition to think in a way that supports their success. And you can do the same. Studies in neuroscience have shown that it takes about 21 days to form a new habit and rewire thought patterns. And this is because neurons that fire together wire together. The more you engage in a certain way of thinking, the stronger those connections become. Let's say you want to become more confident. If you wake up every morning and say, "I am confident, I trust myself, I handle challenges with ease," at first it might feel unnatural. But as you continue repeating it daily, your brain starts accepting it as fact. By the end of 21 days, this belief is no longer just a statement, it's part of your identity. You start behaving differently, making decisions with confidence, and carrying yourself with certainty. The 21-day rule isn't magic, it's psychology. When you introduce a new habit, belief, or mindset, your brain initially resists change. But with consistent repetition, it adapts. Most people fail to change because they give up too soon. They say affirmations for a few days, don't see immediate results, and quit. But transformation isn't instant, it's a process. Those who persist for 21 days experience a shift. Their old beliefs lose power and new ones take root. If you can commit to 21 days, you give yourself the chance to override limiting beliefs and replace them with empowering ones. By the end of 21 days, you'll notice something incredible. Your internal dialogue will have shifted. Negative thoughts will have less power over you. Doubts will fade. Confidence will feel more natural. Most importantly, you will have proven to yourself that you are capable of change. And once you see what's possible in 21 days, imagine what's possible in 90 days or a year. The key to transformation isn't talent, luck, or intelligence. It's repetition. Speak the right words to yourself consistently, and your mind will follow. Your brain does not differentiate between reality and what you repeatedly affirm. Speak positivity, and positivity manifests. This is one of the most powerful truths about the human mind. Whatever you tell yourself consistently, your brain accepts as reality, whether it is true or not. Your thoughts are not just passive ideas. They shape your beliefs, emotions, and actions. The words you repeat to yourself daily create the lens through which you see the world. If you constantly affirm negativity, telling yourself you're not good enough, that life is unfair, or that success is impossible, your brain will find ways to confirm those beliefs. But if you intentionally fill your mind with empowering thoughts, your entire reality will shift. Your subconscious mind does not analyze or question the thoughts you give it. It simply accepts them. Think of it like a GPS system. If you program it with a specific destination, it doesn't argue with you or suggest alternative routes. It simply follows the command. If you tell yourself, I can't do this, your subconscious doesn't debate with you. It accepts it and influences your actions accordingly. You will hesitate, second guess yourself, and avoid taking risks. But if you tell yourself, I am capable and resourceful, your subconscious will align your thoughts, emotions, and actions with that belief. This is why affirmations and self-talk are so powerful. By repeating positive statements, you are feeding your subconscious a new set of instructions, shaping your identity and behavior in the process. One of the most well-documented examples of the mind's power is the placebo effect. Patients who believe they are taking medicine, when in reality they are given a sugar pill, often experience real, measurable healing. Why? Because their belief in the treatment triggers physiological responses that lead to improvement. This isn't magic, it's neuroscience. Your thoughts create real biological changes in your body. If the mind can heal the body simply through belief, imagine what it can do for your confidence, success, and overall quality of life. Now let's flip that around. If negative thoughts can make people physically sick, imagine what they are doing to your potential, happiness, and ability to achieve your goals. Your brain is constantly filtering the millions of pieces of information around you, choosing what to focus on based on your dominant thoughts. This is why when you buy a new car, you suddenly start seeing that same car everywhere. It was always there, but now your mind is trained to notice it. The same principle applies to success and happiness. If you repeatedly tell yourself that you are unlucky, that things never work out for you, or that you always fail, your brain will seek out evidence to confirm those beliefs. You'll overlook opportunities, misinterpret challenges as failures, and reinforce your negative mindset. But if you start telling yourself, I am capable, I attract opportunities, and I create success, your brain will begin to filter the world differently. You will notice chances to grow, doors opening that you never saw before, and strengths within yourself that you had overlooked. If your mind believes what you repeatedly tell it, then the key to transformation is intentional self-talk. Here's how to do it. Close your eyes and picture yourself achieving your goals. Your brain will begin to accept this as reality and guide you toward it. Thoughts alone aren't enough. You must act in ways that support your new beliefs. If you affirm, I am disciplined, prove it by sticking to small daily habits. The more you repeat positive thoughts, the stronger the neural connections become. You are not a product of your circumstances. You are a product of your beliefs. And your beliefs are shaped by the words you tell yourself every single day. If you have been stuck in a cycle of self-doubt, negativity, or fear, it's time to change the narrative. Start speaking to yourself like someone who is unstoppable, worthy, and destined for greatness. Motivation is fleeting. It comes in waves, strong today, weak tomorrow. We've all felt it. One day, you're inspired to hit the gym, start a business, or develop a new skill. But then the next day, you wake up feeling tired, uninspired, or distracted. And suddenly, all that motivation is gone. This is why motivation alone is unreliable. It's an emotional state, and emotions fluctuate. If you rely solely on motivation to take action, you will find yourself constantly stopping and starting, making little real progress. But there is something stronger, something that will keep you moving forward even when motivation disappears: discipline. Discipline is not about feeling like doing something, it's about doing it regardless of how you feel. It is about training yourself to take action whether you're inspired or not. And the key to developing discipline lies in one of the most powerful tools at your disposal: your self-talk. The way you speak to yourself determines your level of discipline. If you tell yourself, "I'll do it when I feel like it," you will constantly delay progress. But if you tell yourself, "I do what I need to do no matter how I feel," you are reinforcing a mindset of consistency and action. Successful people are not always motivated. They don't wake up every morning feeling excited to put in the work. But what separates them from the rest is their inner dialogue. They tell themselves, "This is who I am, this is what I do," and they follow through, regardless of emotions. This is why self-talk is crucial. Your words shape your habits, and your habits shape your life. If you consistently reinforce discipline through your self-talk, you will no longer rely on motivation to take action. You will simply act because it has become part of your identity. Motivation may get you started, but discipline keeps you going. It is the force that turns small daily actions into lifelong habits. And it is habits, not bursts of inspiration, that determine your success in any area of life. The person who exercises only when they feel like it will never achieve the same results as the person who shows up every day, no matter what. The entrepreneur who works on their business only when inspired will never build something sustainable. The student who studies only when motivated will never master their subject. But the person who disciplines themselves, who does what needs to be done even when they don't feel like it, will always outperform those who rely on motivation. Discipline is like a muscle. The more you train it, the stronger it gets. And like any muscle, it requires repetition and reinforcement. Neuroscience tells us that our brains create neural pathways based on repeated behaviors. The more you do something, the easier it becomes. This is why habits form. When you consistently take action, regardless of how you feel, your brain starts to rewire itself to make that action automatic. The key is repetition. If you tell yourself every day, "I am disciplined," and back it up with action, your brain will start to accept it as truth. Over time, discipline will become second nature. If you want to move beyond motivation and develop real discipline, follow these steps. Replace weak thoughts with strong ones. Instead of saying, "I don't feel like doing this," say, "I do what needs to be done no matter what." Instead of, "I'll start tomorrow," say, "I start now because discipline is my strength." Even on low energy days, do something. If you don't feel like working out, do 10 push-ups. If you don't feel like writing, write one sentence. Small actions reinforce the identity of discipline, making it easier to stay consistent. Motivation is fueled by goals, but discipline thrives on systems. Instead of saying, "I want to lose weight," create a system. "I will exercise at 7 a.m. every day, no exceptions." Systems remove the need for motivation by making actions automatic. Science shows it takes about 21 days to form a habit. If you commit to disciplined actions for 3 weeks, they will become easier. Push through resistance, and soon discipline will replace motivation as your driving force. Discipline doesn't mean never failing. It means showing up consistently even when you fall short. Instead of beating yourself up for missing a day, focus on getting back on track immediately. At the end of the day, discipline is an identity, not just an action. If you see yourself as a disciplined person, you will act accordingly. But if you wait for motivation, you will always struggle with inconsistency. So ask yourself, who do I want to be? Do you want to be someone who takes action regardless of how you feel? Someone who follows through, builds habits, and transforms their life? If the answer is yes, start reinforcing that belief today. Speak discipline into existence. Train your mind to act no matter what. Because in the end, discipline, not motivation, is what will lead you to success. Instead of saying, I want to be successful, say, I am successful. When you align your identity with your goals, your actions follow. This shift in language might seem small, but it has a profound impact on your psychology and behavior. Most people set goals based on what they want to achieve, but few take the next step, aligning their identity with those goals. And that's where transformation truly begins. Your identity shapes your actions shape your habits, and your habits determine your results. If you tell yourself, I want to be successful, you are placing success in the future, something distant, something you have not yet attained. But when you say, I am successful, you affirm success as your current reality. You begin to think, act, and make decisions as a successful person would. And when your mind accepts this identity, success becomes inevitable. Who you believe you are is the single biggest factor in how you behave. If you believe you are disciplined, you will act in disciplined ways. If you believe you are confident, you will carry yourself with confidence. Let's take two people trying to quit smoking. The first person says, I'm trying to quit smoking. The second person says, I don't smoke. The first person still identifies as a smoker who is trying to change. Their identity is in conflict with their goal, so their brain will resist change. The second person, however, has already assumed the identity of a non-smoker. Their actions will naturally align with that belief, making quitting much easier. Instead of saying, I want to be fit, say, I am a healthy person who takes care of my body. Instead of saying, I want to be a writer, say, I am a writer. I write every day. Instead of saying, I want to be wealthy, say, I am financially wise and attract abundance. Your subconscious mind does not question what you tell it. It simply accepts and reinforces the messages you repeat most often. If you constantly affirm weakness, failure, or self-doubt, your brain will find ways to confirm those beliefs. But if you reinforce an empowering identity, your brain will start working in alignment with it. This is why athletes, high performers, and successful people across all fields use identity statements to shape their mindset. When a professional athlete says, I am the best, they are not just being arrogant, they are reinforcing a belief system that influences their performance. If you want to achieve lasting change, start by changing how you define yourself. Here's how you can do it. Words alone are not enough. You must back them up with action. If you say, I am healthy, but continue eating junk food, your brain will recognize the contradiction. But if you start making healthier choices, your mind will reinforce your new identity. Stop saying, I'm not good at this, and start saying, I am learning and improving every day. Stop saying, I always procrastinate, and start saying, I take action immediately. Your words create your reality. Change the way you speak, and you will change the way you live. Final thoughts. Who you believe you are is who you become. The most powerful change happens when your identity aligns with your goals. Instead of chasing success, embody it. Instead of hoping for confidence, claim it. Instead of waiting for discipline, declare it. Because once you believe you are already the person you want to become, your actions will follow and success will simply be the byproduct. Speak to yourself like a leader, like someone who has already achieved their dreams. Do it daily for 21 days and watch how your life changes. Most people underestimate the power of their own words. They speak to themselves with doubt, limitation, and negativity, often without even realizing it. They say things like, I'm not good enough, I'll never be successful, or I don't have what it takes. And the more they repeat these statements, the more their mind starts to believe them. But what if, for the next 21 days, you flip the script? What if, instead of reinforcing self-doubt, you began speaking to yourself as a leader? What if you started affirming your success, your confidence, and your ability to achieve greatness before it even happens? This is the challenge. For 21 days, speak to yourself as if you are already the person you want to become. Speak with confidence, clarity, and conviction. Watch how your thoughts shift, your actions improve, and your life begins to change. Studies suggest that it takes approximately 21 days to form a new habit. This means that if you consistently practice positive self-talk for 3 weeks, your brain will start to internalize these new beliefs, making them automatic. Neuroscience backs this up. Every thought you think strengthens neural pathways in your brain. When you repeatedly tell yourself, I am confident, I am successful, I am disciplined, your brain begins to accept these statements as truth. Over time, these thoughts become part of your identity, and once your identity shifts, your behavior naturally follows. The key is to speak as if it's already true. Even if you don't fully believe it yet, repetition will make it real over time. Words have power, but spoken words have even more impact. Every morning and every night, stand in front of a mirror and declare your identity statements out loud. At first, it may feel strange, but as you continue, you will start to believe it. And when you believe it, you will start acting in alignment with it. Self-talk alone won't change your life. You must also take action. Every day, ask yourself, the first few days will feel easy because you're motivated, but around day 7 or 10, resistance will kick in. You might forget to do your affirmations or feel doubt creeping in. This is where most people quit, but this is exactly when you need to push through. The challenge isn't just about self-talk, it's about proving to yourself that you can be consistent. If you commit to speaking to yourself like a leader for 21 days, you will start to notice. Most people wait until they feel confident to start acting confident. They wait until they feel successful to start acting successful. But the truth is, success starts in your mind first. For the next 21 days, speak as if you already are who you want to become. Think as if you've already achieved your goals. Walk as if success is already yours. Everything you've heard today comes down to one simple truth. You become what you repeatedly tell yourself. Your words shape your thoughts shape your actions, and your actions shape your reality. If you keep telling yourself you're not good enough, your mind will find ways to prove it. But if you tell yourself with absolute certainty that you are strong, capable, and successful, your life will start moving in that direction. For the next 21 days, take control of your self-talk. Speak to yourself like a leader. Affirm your success before it happens. Train your mind to believe in your potential. Because once your mind accepts a new identity, your actions will follow and transformation will be inevitable. Thank you. Now, go and create the life you were meant to live.